Yeah, it's a great opportunity again from the KDR TV studios that we are hosting one of the presidential candidates in Kenyan election 2022, which is going to happen in August 9th. So we have a gentleman by the name Dr. Jeff Kaluyu. He's a diasporan, he's a Kenyan, and he's actually running against the Titans, but he's actually up to the task and really ready to wrestle not really the tickets, but he's really ready to wrestle that race from the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, the current Deputy President Dr. William Ruto, and another battery of other contenders. As of last week, we had like almost 52 presidential candidates running in the Kenyan election. So let me bring on board Dr. Jeff Kaluyu. Hello, Dr.
Thank you so. Hello. Thank you so much. I am doing extremely well. Thank you so much, Ben, for having me. Na kwanza,
you accepted to come to our shows, and we really appreciate your time. And today, Kenyans want to hear your story. And what we can actually briefly tell you is that our studios or our news broadcast reaches Kenyans across the globe and other friends and other people and the African continent. So the best option is for you today actually to give your best to our viewers so that they can make an informed decision or an informed opinion on who to elect as their president who will be leading them in the next 5 years. So, Bwana Jeff, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Na nataka kuwasalimia Wakenya wote popote walipo katika Jamhuri ya Kenya na ulimwenguni kote mnaposikiza na kutazama. Greetings, my fellow Kenyans.
Nashukuru sana. So we'll do the interview both in Swahili or in English. So you are pretty welcome, Dr. Jeff.
Thank you. I'm good in both.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So we've got a couple of questions for you here, Dr. Jeff, which we'll need you to answer. And before you answer those particular questions, who is Dr. Jeff Kaluyu? Go ahead, Dr.
Thank you. Dr. Jeff is a presidential candidate, 2022. From very humble beginnings, I was born in a small poor village in Kitui County. My biggest dreams as a little boy were those of my grandfather, owning a lot of cows and goats and taking them to the fields to show off the numbers myself. A dream of finishing higher education, becoming a university dean, being a professor, working in Wall Street, working as a TV and radio show host in Washington, D.C. and on the eastern seaboard of the United States, and ultimately running for the highest office in the land in Kenya. Those were far dreams, but I represent boys and girls across the nation, from Lake Victoria to the coast and from the north to the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. It is dotted, the Kenya is dotted with little boys and girls who are born poor, without the name, without money, and without the fame or rich families. But they can for sure today know that they have a champion in the State House. So when I go to the State House, when I go to sleep, I will be thinking about them. And when I wake up, I will be thinking about them. So we are represented. We are present.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeff. Why are you exactly running as a president in Kenya?
I am running for the highest office in the land because I have, first of all, the experience. I ran for president in 2017. Quite frankly, I ran twice because the first election was nullified. And we went back. Some of the candidates, they dropped after we were, nullified. But I went back because it was my passion to be able to finish the race. Now I am back. And to your specific question, I have that experience of how to do it. I was new. I was a rookie in 2017. Now I understand the process and I understand the players. Now, more than that, that is very simplistic. When I started the race in 2017, I did not just want to be a president. I had the backing of, I was the only person in the state of New Jersey who had represented a state in the business world, interpreting the scientific world into the business as they apply for the grants. I have worked in Wall Street. Wall Street, what they do is fix other countries, give them money with programs that work, so you have to evaluate the programs. I had been a professor to be able to fix our education system. I had written books about how the political season of Kenya, seasons in Kenya usually work. And I had gone with a survey to ask the dreams, the passions, the hopes, and the challenges of our people. So as a research scientist, because I'm a PhD in health policy and research, I only know things from evidence. So I went with a survey to understand what are the things that are most important to people. Life was and remember, one of the biggest hashtags in Kenya today is the cost of living is very high. It needs to be dropped. I had a 6-point plan, high cost of living. People needed to be fixed. We needed to grow the economy. That's what I did in Wall Street, fixing other countries, Southeast Asia. If you look on YouTube, you will find that I've been training other countries like Ghana, Nigeria, training their governments, officials who came to the United States at that particular time. Bringing jobs. We have outdated jobs. We need jobs for the 21st century so that we can have the rest of the people in innovation. We have to be cutting edge so that people can want our things according to what the world wants. Then we are to lower the taxes. Lowering the taxes means people pay that they can be able to do more business, and also increase the tax base because more people are able to do business. Therefore, we can lower the taxes. And then corruption. I will be, and I was to be the end of corruption. I have no corruption file, I have no cartels, and I've never been involved in any of those. There's nobody who can raise a finger in terms of the direction. And finally, which is the most important, because I went to school in diaspora, and I need to correct you. I don't live in diaspora. I went to school in diaspora. I live in Kenya. I just work internationally, and I travel a lot. In terms of, in fact, foreign affairs, I'm the most experienced foreign affairs person than any other candidate, because they have been home, they come and visit, they go around, but I've been involved with the diplomats, I've been involved with Wall Street. So diaspora has to be represented. The challenges that face the diaspora, from embassies, the challenges of non-healthcare, people dying going to Kenya, and also lack of investment participating in Kenya, there will be diaspora on the table, not on the menu. So that's why I'm running for president, not just for the sake of it.
Thank you very much. Dr. Jeff, you are running to be a Kenyan president. You are running to be a Kenyan president, not a president for the diaspora, but you have your aspirations. You have the diaspora aspirations on board in your candidature. So, okay. So why did you really decide to abandon your job, or why abandoning your plum job in the diaspora to go and run for presidency in Kenya? Dr. Ari, go ahead.
And remember, that was in 2014. That was in 2014 after I finished my second book. And yes, I had plum jobs. I had a university dean, and you can go check how much they earn per year. And if you have, I had visited, after I finished my PhD work, I had visited Kenya several times. And I saw the retrogressive system where we left it instead of going forward. And I was aware of the world, the West Africa. And quite frankly, I had saw so many reports across the world. Why? As a professor, I have almost, I would say I have almost a student that I have taught in almost 70% of the world, almost 70% of Africa. They call me, they tell me what is happening. I compare the data. I knew what was happening, and we needed a new kind of generation, a new kind of leaders, because when I win, for example, in the Kenyan election, I only need to make phone calls. I have doctors, I have governors, members of parliament everywhere across the world, from Rwanda, from Liberia, from everywhere in Africa. And therefore, my win will be an African win. When Africa wins, the world listens. So I am not running as a president. As a matter of fact, my 6-point plan that particular time in 2016 has only 5 points that are Kenyan directed, cost of living, all those kind of things. It's only diaspora that was 6th point. But because I'm sensitive to them, therefore, I'm able to bring them on the table. They have been neglected. They have not been listened to carefully, and they have not had proper appointment. Remember, I was a presidential candidate in 2017. The most honorable thing the government would have done is to appoint someone like me, offer me something that was commensurate to expectations of diaspora. But guess what? The fellow friends and everybody else got their appointments, and it became, they were neglected again. Now, right now, they are also neglected. By the way, now I have still 6-point plan. I only added 1 point, which makes it 7-point plan. But that is expected because it is post-COVID economy. And being an actual, I went to medical school for 5.5 years, and I'm an MBA in finance and economics with all the experience in Wall Street. I am the only candidate in the entire field that can speak economics and can speak COVID, because I specialized in viral infectious diseases, including HIV, and you can Google me. We're talking of Blue Nile, we are talking of COVID. So when we talk of post-COVID economy, I am the most qualified person to speak about COVID in the entire candidate line. So I feel I'm qualified enough, I have the experience, and I know what is expected of me and what is expected of our people, because I did the survey. The rest of the people, they walk around in crowds. They ask people, what do you want? Oh, we want water. You got it. What else do you want? We want a lot of fertilizer. You got it. That's how they make their plans. And they bring few economic models that don't even work, don't even exist. They should not even be talked about themselves. They don't understand those models. But I am from that background. There's nobody who can challenge. They are not really nobody, but I can argue, debate, and prosecute the case of the Kenyan people very competently and with anyone. And I'm not the perfect person, but I feel confident I can be able to argue and debate the case very, very well.
Thank you very much.
So basically, I want to tell you that I live in Kenya and I just travel internationally using my network. I work like everybody else. I have no money for corruption. I haven't been assisted by any government or anything else. Therefore, I work like you Kenyans. I am you. You want one of yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Now, let's also, we would like to hear from your own perspective. What authenticity do we have on the current political formations in Kenya? We've got the UDA, we've got the Kenya Kwanza, we've got the AUKUS, I mean, and now you have your UCP. So what authenticity do you think actually these political formations bring to the Kenyan people?
It is important. First, I take a step back, and because you have brought the name UCP, which stands for Unified Change Party. In 2017, I ran as an independent candidate. Independent candidate, it is very difficult to run but also it was good for me because I had to prove something. As an independent candidate, you are individual. People have to trust you, people have to like you, people have to do everything about you. And if anything goes wrong, therefore, if the whole campaign goes wrong, we started 19 candidates. We had vetting at KICC. We remained 8 candidates. So out of 19 candidates, I finished on 2017 number 4 because Raila dropped out of the race the second time. So we remained fewer people. I finished 3 spaces out of State House. I tell people I never failed. We just ran out of time because every time I kept coming forward. But specific to the question, the kind of things that you really want to know, political formations in Kenya, they are not authentic. I dare to say that because, in fact, if I listen to, let's say, Raila Amolo Odinga's ODM, it had an agenda. Quite frankly, I think it had a 10-point or 12-point agenda with very comprehensive youth agenda when he started. But wait till he gets into a coalition. All we are talking about is who is supporting a very good friend of mine, mother, who is supporting Rahila. All these people, you know, when you get into politics, you get to know them. So I'm very fond talking about these names, and they are my opponents. We can fight it out, and we will not be any enemies. But they have no agenda. If you ask what is the agenda for Azimio la Umoja, what is it? There is no point plan for the whole thing. Now, if you go to Kenya Kwanza, you find Ruto who is also a good friend of mine, and you know, the wife Rachel, but they had a wheelbarrow model, which was a bottom up. They were giving wheelbarrows, and he was pointing out his plans, Mama Mboga, and it picked up. As soon as Kenya Kwanza came together, all you are doing is to have some of my friends there crying, others saying that we have left one place to the other. There is no agenda. What they are doing is coming together so that they can wrestle power. Power in Kenya, in African countries in general, is about accessing resources. And that is the accessing resources, the most dangerous thing, to access resources without any plan. So I challenge them with UCP, which is Unified Change Party, and now, by the way, diaspora can be able, from now going forward. Remember, I was the only presidential candidate going to the ballot from diaspora in the history of diaspora. There have been presidential candidates, they ran a race a little bit, 50, 60%, then drop. I went all the way to the ballot, the first ever. That was history. But also, I created a party. I did not want to run as an independent. I wanted a vehicle that can load more people, load in diaspora. We do more things. I created the first diaspora-oriented party that is complete, that I am the party leader, and we can be able to load. So I invited the diaspora. So I challenge. Mine, I've given you a 7-point plan. I've given you what I want to do. We might even be part of a coalition that is finishing called EGO Coalition, EGO, Kenya National EGO Coalition, and which is TENA, the EGO National as Alliance. And if it completes okay, we will be part of it. But I could not get into any coalition without a plan, without just wanting to be in power. Even if you got into power with coalition that has no agenda, you did not win. In fact, the Kenyan people lost. So we want as a country, high debt, bad economy, lack of jobs. We cannot have people in power. So the last thing I want to remind Kenyans, those who are watching, it does not really matter. These alliances have been given too much media. They have been given extraordinary attention that shouldn't be there. Remember, the democracy in Kenya or anywhere in the world, it says secret ballot voting. Whether you belong to UCP or DM or UUDA or anywhere else, when you go to the ballot box, your ballot has no name, it has no number, it has no picture, and nobody in the world will ever know who you voted for, because even cameras are not allowed. So whether you belong to Kenya Kwanza, to UDA, to Raila's ODM, or you belong to the Alliance, voting is different. So we give too much authenticity, and I want IEBC to train people to go do civic education, to tell people you will vote your future. You cannot vote an alliance. If you vote an alliance, it is you to suffer, because those people, they can afford, they are rich, and even if they don't go to the State House, they can be able to survive very well. The question here and the life is about you as a Kenyan, and if you secretly ballot, you will vote for me, because I am the person who will change the Kenya, and I am the person who will bring new kind of politics, change your course forever, and I will involve the people, not some section who are supposed to be Mama Bonga or hustlers. No, those are people, yes, but there are all groups of people in Kenya, and they don't want to be called hustlers. They want to be called Kenyans. So our slogan in UCP is "We the people," and we will involve rich, poor, middle class, and lower class. So there is no umbaguzi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeff. What major key areas. So can you identify 3 major areas, if elected, in your administration, you will really focus on in your first 100 days in office?
Corruption, that will be number one. We will make sure we restructure the government in such a way, and excuse me as I make sure that my computer is lighting properly to the end. 3 areas: corruption. Corruption in Kenya, in Africa, in anywhere East Africa cannot be fought by tainted leaders. That's what Magufuli was about. Because most of the people who are in the government now, they have been, or who are running the so-called front runners, and they have been created, make no mistake, they have been created by media. When you have the money, you should be able to influence media to say whatever you want. That's how African politics are. And especially, and in fact, at this point, I would like to challenge the government to give all presidential candidates at least 30% coverage, 30% coverage for every presidential candidate. And then from 30%, they can buy the rest of the media, as opposed to whoever has the money is the one who is covered. And when you have money, you can even suppress anybody. You can say, don't cover Dr. Jeff, and then you never see Dr. Jeff in the media if you think Dr. Jeff is a threat. But whatever the case, we are talking about a nation that has suffered a lot, has come from far. There are historical injustices. And therefore, that is why I am saying that I am the right candidate. And what was your last part of your question? What was the last part of your question?
No, the last part, I basically asked you to give us 3 key areas your government.
3 key areas. So in 3 key areas is corruption.
Okay.
Because I'm a non-corrupt, that will kick it out of the window in the first 6 months. First 100 days, I will put structures. What is wrong is not in the presidency or in the leadership for corruption. Our institutions are so corrupt. Once you try to want something in an institution in Kenya, you'll have to pay a lot of tolls. This gets paid, this person gets paid, or somebody jams you, makes the work difficult so that you cannot move forward. So corruption at first 100 days is to put the structures, procedures and policies, they are there, but they are violated. If you violate the structures, if you are thinking of or structuring to loot from Kenyan money or take someone's money while you're supposed to be giving free service, you can be able to face jail, or you'll be ready to go home immediately. Number 2, lowering the taxes. We need to jumpstart the economy. I believe I'm the only person who is from Wall Street, who has done economics that restructures countries. Not just institutions, but countries, Southeast Asia, Nigeria, Ghana, all those people have trained and have brought structures and designs that change the country. And these people are ahead of us. So that is number 2. And number 3, I want to make sure diaspora. Diaspora in Kenya can be ignored. Diaspora brings income in Kenya more than coffee, tea, and tourism combined. All those revenues from tea, coffee, tourism combined, they are beat by diaspora bar to none. How can you ignore diaspora? How can you not have diaspora in the government? How can you not have representation? And also diaspora from outside. These are people who we have worked very well in education systems. There are people working for Microsoft. There are people working for Boeing. These are scientists, others driving trucks. They know how these businesses work. So how can we not ask them even to bring the business to Kenya? And also diaspora, their embassies, what are they doing? They will be accountable. They will have to bring business to Kenya, foreign investment, to add more investment in Kenya. So in diaspora, they have not even scratched the surface yet of what diaspora can bring home. So in diaspora, like in China, in India, they are the ones who are leading the governments in money, foreign money. But as we have not encouraged them, I will be also a diaspora president, and diaspora will be on the table. Diaspora will develop Kenya. So those are the main 3 things: corruption, lowering taxes, because lowering taxes brings jobs, it restarts the economy, and then diaspora will bring more money, and Kenya will be running very efficiently going forward. And I only want 5 years. If you give me 5 years, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, then just kick me out. The power is not a matter of life and death, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be about performance.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeff. Another question we would like our viewers also to get an aspect on your candidature is that, you know, we have the big two shots in front of you. I mean, barring you from State House. As we speak today, I mean, that is the projection. We are looking at the opinion polls. You know, some of the opinion polls are credible and some of them are actually manipulated. You know, you are an academician, just like me. We understand sometimes these opinion polls actually are manipulated. But from your own perspective, you understand what Kenyans are. Now, most of them are either with UDA and others are with, UDA Kenya Kwanza, and then we have the Azimio la Umoja party or coalition. So where do you come in and how are you going to beat these people, Daktari?
This is very simple, sir. This is a very simple thing, and you are talking to a very experienced presidential candidate. We are saying, I know, if you have heard this saying, a day in presidential race is like 100 biblical days. You will see so many things change in the next 2 months that those so-called front runners may not be front runners anymore. After we go through the vetting, which is the process now presidential candidates are going through, once you are cleared, remember there was 47, independent, and then there was another 9 or so that are from parties, that is us. So after which is about 55. So there is a vetting process where a lot of them will be eliminated, others will be eliminated even though they go to KICC for interview, they will be eliminated there. Those who are cleared, and they will be a small number, it will be, very small number from 55. Those who are cleared now, it will be a time to expose them. You'll find each of them will have TV interviews automatically. Right now, they are trying to, they are kind of dumped down because they are worrying, we are not getting coverage, we are not doing this. I've gone through this process. If they are going to interview, let's say 13 candidates, all of them, then all TV stations will interview all those. It is their time to shine. Now, when it comes to argument, prosecution of the Kenyan people, then debate and knowledge of things, forget what people are just making. On the street, it is all about who can make the most noise, because when you look at Kenya Kwanza, the agenda is how to insult the Azimio. And Azimio's agenda is how to insult the Kenya Kwanza. So when you bring other people who can argue very pointedly, people who understand the issues on Kenya, international issues, they are also accepted internationally. Things will change because right now people are not paying attention to people. All these hoopla crowds, it is because what we call paid crowds. As a matter of fact, Ben, 2 things, and because you're a young man, 2 things. The pause, and I'm happy that you mentioned that because pause are cooked. You know that there's no authentic cook, and I'm a statistician. Nobody can. They need to give their methodology. They need to give all those sorts of things, you know. But the other thing, as a politician in Africa and Kenya, those crowds are paid. You go, Raila comes tomorrow, they will be the same crowds. Why? Because those crowds get money. They are expecting money from the candidate. So they are not even thinking about voting. Voting starts like in the next 2 months after you get the candidates who are real. Even today, who knows whether Raila will be vetted and pass the vetting? What if it is knocked off? Then Kenya, the Azimio will have no candidate. Who knows whether Kenya Kwanza will have a president? What if he doesn't go through the vetting process, Ruto? So all these hoopla is because people are gullible. There is no presidential candidate now, and I need you to see saying there is a presidential candidate. All of them are aspirants pending being vetted and cleared as presidential candidate. Only then they will become candidate. So right now we have no presidential candidate, but because Kenyans are gullible, even people in the media sometimes they get gullible, they think we are presidential candidate. You can knock everybody off before next week, and then that person, Kenya Kwanza, will have nobody. Or the Azimio. So I've corrected you, and forgive me for correcting you in public.
No problem. No problem, no problem. I mean, if every, you know, the law says very well, any Kenyan can actually, I mean, let me not read all those laws here, but any Kenyan can aspire to become a president. I mean, it's a presidential, but you must actually pass those the bylaws set by the IEBC. And right now, also, we know very well that you need a minimum of, I think, over 40,000 signatures across the country to show that
48,
you really
48.
cut across all the 47 counties. You know that?
Yes. 48,000. It's majority of the counties.
Yes.
Because majority is 24. 24, each county you're supposed to have a minimum of 2,000. Yes. So 24 counties, which is majority times 2 is 48,000.
Yes.
So that is what you're supposed to get the endorsements. You collect signatures, a very expensive exercise, and which I really sometimes do not appreciate, given that 48,000 to get people to collect those signatures, you better be moneyed. There get to be money coming from somewhere so that you can send people in the counties to collect those signatures. And per day, let's say you pay someone 1,000 a day and you have several people. So even if you paid one person, which is not possible, and you have 48,000, then you are talking of 4.8 million. And then you're supposed to get their IDs to copy so that you can present to IEBC. That is another, maybe you pay somebody this and that, it's going to be to get an ID and you don't get those. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that if you are not rich, if you're not privileged, you have no business really running for president. I can tell you all those running for president, they are feeling it. And the expense is very high. I knew I expected it. Not that I'm comfortable, but I'm feeling the strain because I don't have any money coming from government or sponsored by anybody. Neither do I have corruption money. And that is what makes politicians, become corrupt. A lot of politicians don't become corrupt for their own money, by the way. They take money so that they can give the voters. That is the funny thing. It's not necessary. Of course, they keep some, but majority of the money they steal is to go and woo the voters so that they can remain in power. So that is the whole thing. We encourage, we put bars that are too high to encourage corruption. So we want to give Tom, Harry, and Dick, or we wanted to give, that is a Western expression, we want to give Wanjiku opportunity to even aspire, to dream big, even that she can dream to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. For now, the way it is, Wanjiku can dream. She can dream of other things, but she can't dream of being a presidential candidate or most of the positions, because you are telling them to pay 100,000 nomination fee or 200 or 500 nomination fee. Where are they going to get that? I would rather have some Uber. Because they are suffering, they go Uber and do some work, but we need to make it easy because it is a democracy. Everybody participates. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Daktari.
Thank you.
Yes. Another question is, go ahead. Or you had something to top?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Now, what role should the diaspora actually play to ensure that they help you? I mean, you are a candidate who is emanating or who lives most of his time in the diaspora. So what should the diaspora actually do to ensure that you win? I mean, brought in the diaspora community together and tell them, okay, this is the person who is actually going to liberate them or liberate the Kenyan country. Go ahead, Dr.
Why are you sounding like songs in my ears? Because really, really, diaspora, let me tell you, if diaspora and I have been asking diaspora, telling diaspora, forget, I know even now diaspora, if you look at WhatsApp chats, they are more into Azimio, they are inserting the Kenya Kwanza, or Kenya Kwanza inserting the Azimio as Azimio. All I am asking is that whether they I'm not even asking them to come from those political organizations. All I am asking them is to support a diaspora project. You support with $5, 10 sterling pound, shillings, whatever Australian shillings you have. You be able to support a fellow diaspora. If this thing is not about the Azmio with a lot of crowds. Those crowds are very easy to form. All you need is to have the money, and tomorrow there will be a lot of crowds for you more than you can do that. So I want them to help me. And the website that you can be able to do the donation is, and there's a donate button, a big red donate button. It is unifiedchangeparty.com. Very straightforward, unifiedchangeparty.com. Those who want to send money directly to my M-Pesa, you can send it at 0740-334002. Again, 0740-334002. If you go to the website, that information is there. Cash App information is there. Again, unifiedchangeparty.com. And the website is authentic. It is very vibrant. Please help me out, and we can be able to beat these people 6 a.m. I guarantee you that if you support me financially, I guarantee you 100% win on August 9th. 100%.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yeah. Now, let me also return this particular question to you again. I mean, have you organized the diaspora community to come together? That's what I'm actually trying to ask you. Do we have WhatsApp forums for the diaspora who are really ready to assist you? I mean, are they, what are they saying about you? I mean, are they really coordinating? Are they really doing what is necessary to ensure that you become a real great presidential candidate? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, I have created many chats. Quite frankly, it is almost scaringly to say, because I did this in 2017, I was looking to improve it in 2022. Diaspora and different diaspora. Remember, as a professor, I taught students from all over the world, and they are all diaspora, international students. Then diasporas are totally different. Kenyan diaspora has a lot of really cementing around umoja wa diaspora. So there is a lot more to be done, because I have done that. You get involved in the chats, they ask you all sorts of questions, you answer questions, you be nice. At the end of the day, you find there isn't a lot of money. And my experience is across the board. It is not just my experience. We need to learn that our relatives, our parents, our most important, valuable people to us, they are back in Kenya in more numbers than we are here. Therefore, a candidate who is running is actually helping you. And there is a lot of chatter about corruption. There's a lot of chatter about inefficient government running. And then I give them the first opportunity. 2017. I gave them the opportunity. I'm giving them another opportunity. I'm also giving them the party. I'm also saying they can run with the UCP without without resigning their jobs. Because one of the things, if you're running with other parties back in Kenya, they will tell you resign. If you're not resigning, you are not serious about the candidacy. Therefore, how are you going to be having no job and you're in Kenya spending? It is very difficult. We'll give you that opportunity so that you can be able to run. This is your party, and you help me become that successful. Therefore, diaspora will have. Now, there are so many other things to do with their paperwork, immigration, education, fighting for them. If we are government that is sensitive to that, it will be good. So in our chats, I want to ask diaspora to be more sensitive. I want you with the chats that I'm in, we have, there's DC48, there is UCP, you just look for the UCP. We have those chats with many people. I am part of like almost, I think I'm not in less than 20 chats in the diaspora alone. And many people are repetitive in there, and I participate. I put my vice president there. Everybody knows what I'm doing. but the responses in helping diaspora candidate is almost split by the so-called big candidates that are being created big by the media. I always repeat that. So I'm asking diaspora, even if you have committed yourself to Azimio, even if you have committed yourself to Kenya Kwanza, it is okay. I may not want to ask you to come out of this, but I want you to support a diaspora project. You give what you can at unifiedchangeparty.com, and I will go make you proud. I will go make sure that your voice is heard. By now, you trust I know the issues that the diaspora face every single day. So yeah, the diaspora needs to be more organized, and I challenge myself. I think it is going to need more organization, and thank you so much, Ben, because you have just given me a challenge to even do more. I thought I was at the end of the rail, but thank you. You have given me more challenge. I'm going to try to put them together again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thank you very much, Dr. Jeff. We would like now to give you an opportunity to focus on the camera and tell Kenyans why they need you to be their president. Yeah, we've discussed a lot, but I want to give you now 2 minutes to explain your point to the Kenyan people so that they can rally behind you and ensure that they elect you to become their next president in August this year. Go ahead, Dr.
Thank you so much, Ben, for having me and giving me the platform so that I can be able to express myself, and also that the Kenyans can be able to know that I am in the race. I'm a presidential candidate 2022, but I'm not just running to be a president in 2022 just because there is power to be gotten. I'm running with an agenda. And as I have said, my agenda is very clear, that we will make life affordable. People now can't afford life, food, and basics, rent. And also we want to make sure the economy, I am able to create an economy, design an economy that works, because I've worked in Wall Street. I've been a professor of economics myself. Just remember, my MBA is finance economics, and then my PhD is in epidemiology, that is in disease. So I'm the only candidate who can speak in disease, and I can also speak economics in a very competent way, not just because I got the degrees. My MBA finance degrees, they took me to Wall Street. You don't just walk in Wall Street. You are called because you are competent. And then I have done other research in those things. I can be able to create jobs because we have access to 21st century kind of skills. Our university system today, they are teaching what is good for today. We want to teach jobs for 5 years. When they finish, they find those jobs because they are changing. If you teach jobs today that are happening, when they finish, they will be outdated. So you just trained university students for nothing. We have lowering the taxes. I have been one of the Small Business Administration loan person, and I have won awards with the Bank of America. I was the only person, even today, in Hall of Fame for lending more money to small businesses than any other person. My vest is up there. They know I'm in the Hall of Fame. So I know how to create jobs, how to motivate small businesses. Not that small business, Mama Boga, what have you done before? I have done those things. So don't tell us you can be able to develop small businesses. You have no record of doing it. I can do it. I have a record of, I've done that. And therefore, I also end of corruption. We will end corruption. Let me tell you, we are losing 2 billion a day, as we were reported to. That is in real cash that can be seen. We are losing another 2-3 billion by misusing government vehicles, using the copiers, doing things that you should not be doing, and also using government property, or government property that is disappearing. That is another 5 billion you are talking per year. And then you are talking of about other expenses like traveling. People, I mean, when they become members of parliament, they travel in different places, and they can actually do their meetings in Nairobi, but then they go to Mombasa. Why did you just go to Mombasa again? So, and you go to Mombasa, you're paid per diem because you are outside your jurisdiction. So there is so much more that is lost than just that 2 billion, 3 billion in assets. So I will stop that corruption. When you hear people saying I will finish corruption, nobody is talking specifics that I'm talking about, where the money is coming from. Therefore, we will finance to lower the taxes as opposed to worrying where the money is coming from. We know where the money comes from. Then finally, I will make sure diaspora, you are on it, you'll have health insurance. Forget about small groups. I mean, I just have to, I'm like a bigger brother to diaspora. These groups that come together, they are burial groups, and then they produce the money. Money is eaten. We are forming insurance. The money is eaten. We will kill that completely. Government will be able to have a sponsor program where they can be able to produce half of the money. You produce half the money. If you die, you are going to Kenya is guaranteed. Your burial or your insurance for health is guaranteed. So when you hear them coming to diaspora, going to UK, United States, they are coming to say, oh, diaspora, transmission. They don't even have an agenda. They don't know what the diaspora go through. We have those things that affect us every day. But also diaspora, they have to change attitude. We tend to produce more money when people die, when they are sick. You find people very vibrant. They can even produce 40,000, which is about 4 million for burial. So I am asking the Kenyans that I know the hopes, dreams, and aspiration, and I understand where they are coming from. I have been with them. I work hard and I play by the rules. I am you. So I am not asking you to do things you have never done. What we have right now, my opponents are career politicians. They have been there before. We know we have had there are many other presidential candidates, but the ones that are mostly visible, they have been in government for more than 10 years, 12, 20 years. If you add the total amount of years that they have been in government, if you add Musalia, if you add Wetangula, you add Kalonzo, you add Ruto, you add Raila, you add all those people, there are over 250 years of experience in government, operating the government. There's no change. They have brought us where we are today. Do you like where you are today? The question is only one. Do you like where you were 5 years ago, or you don't like? And guess what? All these people have been in government. Nobody can say they are outsiders. They have been in the government. So if you don't like where we are, because they have participated, therefore, you have no business voting of any, because you have an option. I am that option, and I'm experienced, and therefore I'm asking you humbly for your support, because if you give me the opportunity to lead you, I have only one cartel that I participate with. I participate with the Kenyan people cartel. I am them. We do things together, and it will not be my government. It will be your government. You will tell me what to do, and I serve you, and I satisfy you. If I've not done that in 5 years, you are allowed to fire me. But I can guarantee you, the best of Kenya is yet to come, and you have not seen what Kenya can do. It will be a beacon of hope and a shining city and a gateway to Africa, because where Kenya goes, Africa goes. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless this nation, the great Republic of Kenya. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeff. That was your story. We'll be bringing Dr. Jeff again in our future show so that he can actually tell us more about his presidential aspirations, what he really believes in, and why he really wants to be the Kenyan president. Today was basically an opener, and then we'll be bringing Dr. Jeff back in the near future. Thank you, and may God bless you.